Rather large, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. We are back again, reacting to New Year's Day drama and what poor officiation. I've not seen. I've not reacted to a game where the referee has been poor to that extent, combined with VAR. That is the worst piece of refereeing you could provide on on New Year's Day. Stuart Atwell, what a disgrace! What a disgrace of a performance from the referee. Look, this season a lot has been said about referees, a lot has been said about VAR, but this has been really poor. To an extent that I really can't think about it. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comment box, lads, because we lost to a side because a very, very foolish referee. We lost to a side that offered nothing in the 90 minutes. Absolutely. City, in that game, they offered nothing. We're going to be reacting to that and more. Make sure you join me there in the comment box as well. Rather large, welcome back to the channel, and this is your instant match reaction. Arsenal losing to Manchester City 2-1, losing to a side that offered nothing in the 90 minutes. They really offered nothing. I've not seen Manchester City such desperate in the game. I've not seen them such poor. I've not seen them really offering nothing in the game. And I can say in that game they didn't have a shot in the first half on target. They didn't have a shot on target. In the second half you thought they were gonna work better. They even didn't. But before we get into the game, before we talk about what exactly happened and how we outclassed Manchester City, a Thomas Partey masterclass, we had very, very, very good numbers. We had a very good performance in that game. Let's talk about Stuart Atwell, the foolish man who was given this game. The level of incompetence of some referees is just it's just phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. Such referees, I wonder why the Premier League has referees like that. I definitely wonder how on earth such referees with the worst quality in the world are officiating in the Premier League. That is absolute disgrace, a shambles, abysmal. You could call it whatever you want. There is no way that Arsenal losing that game if the referee is not a shambles. How many yellow cards did we get against the same offenses? The Manchester City players did not get booked. Look at the penalty he gives to Manchester City, and look, very, very soft penalty, isn't it? Very soft. Yes, it is a very foolish, challenge from Granit Xhaka. I understand that, and I would say if I'm Granit Xhaka, I know I lost the game to Arsenal. I lost the game, for Arsenal, and he should be ashamed of himself. But the penalty that Martin Odegaard was denied. How do you tell me that a goalkeeper sweeps the ball, minus sweeping Martin Odegaard's leg, Martin Odegaard's foot? How do you explain that? It's a clear penalty for Martin Odegaard through and through. 100%. It is a clear penalty. And very sorry for the headline, for the title. I couldn't find another title. I couldn't find a better title. There is no way we can't fail to talk about the level of officiation in the Premier League, because it's embarrassing. It's absolutely embarrassing. This is the biggest brand of a league in the world. Even in Europe, this is the biggest brand of football. The Premier League, we know, is the highest level. When you play in the Premier League, you played at the highest level in terms of league football. You played at the highest level. But how come We are having such referees. It's not the first scenario that we've been fucked by a referee. It's not the first scenario. It's 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. I mean, how does he explain that? How is he gonna explain that? He doesn't give the Martin Odegaard penalty, right? We are okay with that, and then he gives us a red card. For me, that is absolutely silly. Absolutely very, very silly. He sells this game. He loses the game for us. I don't think there is anyone else. It's not Mikel. It's not the players, because our players in that game. I'll read to you what I wrote. 100% committed, 100% available in that game. And I'm telling you, Manchester City, if it's not for the referee, they do not even get they don't even go. They don't even get a goal. They don't get a goal. They failed to find a shot on target for almost 55 minutes. They failed to get a shot on target. The only decent chance they get is the penalty from Riyad Mahrez. And look at how soft that a penalty is. If you've denied the Martin Odegaard penalty, and they're saying it is soft, it's saying it is assimilation, you don't give that. You don't give that penalty. It's a shambles. That referee there is an absolute disgrace. I wish he never, just relegate him to the championship. I wish he never comes close to Arsenal fixtures ever again. That lad is a disgrace. That lad is a shambles. VAR as well. We can't go away, because look, the reason as to why you have technology, is to make the game better. They want a game without flaws. They want a game without mistakes. They want a game that is straight perfect. Football is made of jeopardy. Football can never be as straight as you want it to be. Football can never be flawless. Football can never be without mistakes. Look, listen. If there is no VAR in this game, it's okay. The blame goes to Partey. The blame goes to Stuart Atwell, and that is it. But even with VAR, how do you tell me that is not a penalty against Martin Odegaard? How do you tell me that even with VAR? So look, I do not know the motive of VAR in football. Definitely, I think it's only an economic enterprise motive. There is nothing football about VAR. There is absolutely nothing football about VAR. Nothing. Because look at it, lads. If you bring in, if you have a fourth official, you have a center referee, you have two liners as well, two linesmen, you expect at least some level of accuracy. But when you add VAR, you expect absolute accuracy, because VAR has more time. VAR has all the time in the world to decide, to look at it, to look at incidences over and again and again and again and again. How then do they keep making more silly, stupid, foolish mistakes than the liners, than the referees on the pitch? How come? All the time. I think the level of jeopardy we are seeing from in football at the moment is much more artificially created than the natural level of jeopardy we want, because that is what VAR does. It just kills the jeopardy. It just kills away, why we love football. It just kills why we support football. We support football because on a New Year's Day, when Arsenal's been doing so well, they will get a result against Manchester City, who have taken 10 games, winning straight in a row. That is the importance of football, and that is the fun of football. That is why we are football. A team like Arsenal, that has been really, really crumbling for the last 5 years, comes in and beats Manchester City well deservingly, and the world gets shocked. But with these plastic surgeons and the plastic referees, the VARs, the jeopardy is gone. The jeopardy is absolutely gone. We are looking at a penalty incident that should stand 100%. It should stand 100%. But because the referee, for me, is a foolish one in this game. He's a foolish referee. There's no other word. He puts in a disaster class, and then VAR adds on to that. I mean, how on earth? That is a clear goal scoring opportunity. You know what hurts me is that they give a penalty to Bernardo Silva, who is not even anywhere close to to having a goal scoring opportunity, right? But then they deny Martin Odegaard, who's having who's one through one-on-one with the goalkeeper. That is a goal scoring opportunity through and through. And I'm telling you, in the match, in the player ratings, I'm gonna give my players 10 out of 10. I don't give a fuck about the referee and the result, because for me it means nothing. It really doesn't take anything away from the way we played. We've been absolutely brilliant. We've been so good. The referee and whatever kind of crap he's done, I do not give a fuck. I do not care. It's absolutely on himself, and the FA and the Premier League. They should, they should take care of themselves. Because look, at this point in time, I'm so heavy-hearted that if I was the last man to sign for the Super League, I would definitely sign for it. Because what is the point of having a Premier League with such reckless mistakes day in, day out? It's not the first time this season. It's not the last time we are seeing this kind of crap from referees, from VAR. I mean, we should be playing in a Super League where we know there is no jeopardy. There is no jeopardy. No one goes down. No one goes up. It is a circle for the rich. I mean, if we go there, that's it. No rules in the Super League. I mean, we play in Abu Dhabi, we play in China. We should do that. An absolute disaster class from the referee. An absolute disaster class. I've not seen such a very, very poor performance from referee, but this was absolutely very, very poor. But then lads, to speak about the game, because again we can't speak about one foolish man for the whole hour. Make sure you hit the like button. I also make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are in the new year, and in this year we need to get 100,000 subscribers. That is our target. Make sure you do subscribe to the channel. So this is how both teams started. Manchester City, they started with Ederson, João Cancelo, Diaz, Laporte, Nathan Ake, Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, Gabriel Jesus, and Riyad Mahrez. That is how they started. In their pitch on the pitch. And Arsenal, on the other side, we started with Ramsdale, Kian Tierney, Ben White. Big up to AFTV for the graphics. I didn't ask for it, but big up to them. Tomiyasu, Gabriel Magalhaes, Martin Odegaard, Xhaka, Martinelli, Saka, Partey, and Alexander Lacazette. That is how both teams started. And you know what? In the first 15 minutes, I'm gonna say Manchester City were really brilliant. They kept the ball. They really didn't do much in terms of having the ball. But if you look at the possession there, in the first first 13 minutes of the game, they had around 60% ball possession. If you look at how they controlled the game in the first 13 minutes, that is what you expected. Every one of us, that is what we expected. Raheem Sterling was making those runs, up and down the pitch, and you thought it was gonna be a very, very long day for Arsenal. But let me tell you something. Right after the 13th minute, in the first half, it was game over for Manchester City until minute 56 when they got a penalty. It was actually when they scored a penalty in minute 56, it was game over. Arsenal absolutely worked very hard in that game. We deserved a win, with 3 goals or 4 goals. And you know what? We should have humiliated Manchester City. We should have humiliated, because we had everything it took for us to humiliate them. And I'm so disappointed. Not in Arsenal, but for the other stupid factors that we do not win this game, right? So in this game, there's so many things to talk about. But I think one thing I loved about it is the surprise element and the courage that Mikel Arteta and Arsenal put up. It's phenomenal. It's brilliant. Say what you want. If you're a Manchester City fan, if you're a Tottenham fan, a rival fan, you could say whatever you want. But this is a game that is a Champions League qualification performance from Arsenal. Absolutely. That is a qualification performance. If we keep on playing like this, we are qualifying for the Champions League. Because let me tell you, there is no opponent, there is no team in the Premier League apart from Manchester City and Liverpool that can put in such a performance against Manchester City. The only 2 clubs would be Manchester City themselves, if they could verse themselves, at one point in time. Then Liverpool. Those are the 2 teams that can put in such a performance. That is a performance. If Arsenal can keep that up, because look, for me, this is not a loss. I'm telling you, lads, this is not a loss. We had a positive 9 goal difference. It goes down by 1, and now we have a positive 8. I could care less, definitely. I could care less. I could definitely care less, because the clubs that are really coming after me, that is Spurs and Spurs, West Ham, and Manchester United, they're gonna drop points. If we play that kind of football against Spurs, we are beating them. If we play that kind of football against Manchester United, they do not survive. They hardly survive against Burnley and Newcastle. If you play the same kind of football against West Ham, we will hit them on the head the next time. So I think if you watch this game, 90 minutes, you're gonna these are things you saw. Number one, at half time, we were just perfect. We were so excellent. City struggled from minute 1 to minute 45, and the reason is we overworked them. The reason that's why City are very brilliant in this league, and I think I saw it against Brentford, and I really did give it a lot of thought. That's why I've created that second channel. It's called 99 Sport. Make sure you do subscribe to it, because we'll be reacting to the big games and things like that, and maybe try to keep a track of what's happening elsewhere in Europe and in the league and the Champions League and the World Cup. But if you've seen Manchester City, there are not so many clubs that really work harder than them. How many? Okay, Liverpool. I think Liverpool did work harder than them. Crystal Palace. I think Palace did, and Southampton. All right, and Southampton. I think those are the clubs I can actually mention that I remember working harder than Manchester City. Apart from them, there is no other club. There is no other team that has worked harder than Manchester City. The next team has been Arsenal Football Club. We worked harder than City. We outclassed them. It was a masterclass. If you've seen Thomas Partey, man of the game performance, lads, man of the game, man of the match. This time, I'm going to ask you late in the video right now, who was your man of the match? For me, it was Thomas Partey, lads. It was Partey. What the hell did he do with Kevin De Bruyne, with Bernardo Silva? Silva didn't have a masterclass. Rodri, yes, he scores a winner, but he doesn't have a masterclass. And I think he scores that goal because Gabriel gets a red card. If Gabriel Magalhaes is in that defense, we do not concede that second goal. It's a typical rebuilding goal. I mean, when rebuilding is in your defense, you're going to concede that goal. I don't even blame him, right? I don't even blame him. But we outworked. I think if the word exists really, we outworked Manchester City. We worked like there was no other game to play. We worked like this was the final game of the campaign. And that is what Mikel has always said, that if my team can work, in every game, like this is the last game of the campaign, you win that. You're going to win every game. So excellent performance in the first half. And then let's talk about the goal as well. Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, and who wins that ball back? It's Ben White. So Ben White wins the ball back, gives it to Martin Odegaard. Odegaard releases Kian Tierney, and then Tierney, I'm gonna say, what a pass. What a pass to Bukayo Saka, and what a very, very classy finish from Bukayo Saka. Because look, I mean, every aspect of that goal is really, apart from Ben White winning the ball from Kevin De Bruyne, that is not really surprising because he's supposed to do that. But Odegaard then picking out Tierney, that is also not surprising. But Tierney in that area, as a left winger, and the kind of Tierney we know and we are used to as Arsenal fans, he's always going to go to the byline and then crossing that ball. But he says, I'm changing my mind. I'm not doing that. I'm changing a strategy. It just gets that through ball to Bukayo Saka. And I'm going to say that was very, very excellent movement from Bukayo Saka, because again, he deceives Nathan Ake. By the time the ball is released by Tierney, he's almost standing on the same line as Nathan Ake. But when Tierney releases the ball, Saka moves in a little bit forward, and then it's a cool finish. It's a very, very cool finish. And I thought, that goal shows how much the team has really, really developed. Because City, they had defensive problems right from minute 1 to minute 90. Right, look, think we are unlucky. We are so unlucky as well that we had a shit referee, number one, but also we are very unlucky that all the chances that we've created, we have not taken them. Gabriel Martinelli, again, another masterclass, another beautiful performance. I know there could be wags, there could be mugs, of Arsenal fans out there. We're gonna say, Cossy, Martinelli should have scored, and therefore, because he didn't score, he was poor. He didn't score. He was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant, and I think, apart from Partey, because again, lads, the back line, you want to say, again, against City, you're going to say the back line had a very, very good game. But no, our back line had very, very little to do. Yes, the awareness was absolutely top notch. But who cares? Like, who cares? We were on top of that game for the greater time, of the game. We were just unlucky. I think, in the first half, Gabriel Martinelli, 2 chances, probably should have scored 1. And then in the second half, that was a glorious opportunity. And that would have been the killer. But, the comments of Pep Guardiola, I said it today. He said, we are playing a very, very different Arsenal side, number one. And he said, we're playing the best Arsenal side in half a decade. In the last half a decade, this is the best Arsenal side. If I didn't believe that, now I do believe it. Was he scared? Was Manchester City scared? Was that kind of burnout? Or it was really that we really surprised them? Because the element of surprise in that game was absolutely phenomenal, lads. Absolutely phenomenal. Look, Martinelli, the outlet. He was a real outlet. I've not seen Joao Cancelo really struggle in games. Cancelo really struggled. Absolutely. He really struggled, in that game. Really struggled, especially with Gabriel Martinelli. He really struggled. I still remember in the first half, in the second half as well, he really struggled. And they were this close. Aymeric Laporte. They were this close to conceding an own goal, right? And I think Martinelli, he's so clinical. How doesn't he score that? I can't believe it. I really can't believe it. How doesn't he score that? Because we know how clinical he is as a player. I mean, we know, we know how clinical he is as a player. But I can't blame my man. I can't blame my player. I think, the game plan, the game plan was absolutely right. We got everything right, and the referee is a disaster. Yeah, the referee is a disaster. Now, the other thing I saw, it was Thomas Partey. Partey, how many times have we seen Thomas Partey do this well? How many times have we seen Thomas Partey put in such a masterclass performance? I think it reminds me of Thomas Partey against Manchester United. Was it last season in the first leg when he had just signed for Arsenal? He outclassed Paul Pogba. Today, I think why Partey is my man of the match. He outclassed Kevin De Bruyne. He outclassed Rodri. He also outclassed Bernardo Silva as well. That midfield that City started with, let's review it again. Right. So this is their midfield. Rodri, the Spaniard, De Bruyne, the Belgian, Bernardo from which country? I don't really remember. Bernardo Silva, which country? From Portugal, right? From Portugal. So that midfield three is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We know how much quality they can put in. We know how much, we know how good they are, right? But Partey outclassed them. He was everywhere. Like N'Golo Conte Partey, right? That is the name. N'Golo Conte Partey, that is his name today. He was everywhere. MTN, everywhere you go. That was Thomas Partey today. I mean, he was unplayable. He was unplayable. And Pep Guardiola, when he does his press conference, he should mention him, right? I think he deserves an absolute mention. He deserves an absolute mention because that lad is unplayable. He was unplayable. He was so good. He won the ball. very, oftentimes he won the ball, and as if that was not enough, his distribution was also a masterclass. His distribution was so good. Whenever he picked up the ball, you just felt like, he was gonna release it at the right time in the right spaces. We are gonna miss him in January. Maybe yes, maybe no. Because again, our next game, our next fixture, in the Premier League will be Tottenham Hotspur. I'll miss him in that game. When he goes for AFCON, because he's just too good, right? He's just very, very, very good. I mean, look, the City are unlucky. They are really, really unlucky that they don't have such a player, right? But they had the Refree. They had the Refree. I mean, yeah. But anyway, the other thing I saw lights is look. We can't talk about everything, but we've also got to look at ourselves and reflect on the team and the mistakes we committed. What we did right, I've spoken about it. We're very courageous. We are fearless, and that is real progress, right? That is Champions League. That is a team that wants to qualify for Champions League. That is how you play football. But there's some things that I didn't like in that game, lads. There's some things that I really didn't like in that game. And number one, we had the chances. We didn't take them. Listen, when you play a team like Liverpool, Bayern, Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Chelsea, you've got to take your chances. Yes, you did well, but there is what we call the most important statistic in football. That is the final score. Who takes the points? That is the final score. Big up to Melbet. I did predict both teams to score. If you bet with Melbet, if you did place your bet with Melbet, both teams to score, you're in money. Yeah, you're absolutely in money. But lads, my point is that just imagine if we had taken all our chances. Just imagine if Martinelli scored twice in that game. City, because what we needed was to make Manchester City feel that this game is very, very far away. And to do that, we had to score a second goal in the first half. We had to score a third goal in the second half. That is how you take the game very far away from a club like Manchester City. You make them devastated because, one, you've already overworked them. They were tired. They were absolutely tired. Look at the goals they've scored. Look, I mean, those are not Manchester City goals. I mean, no one can say, oh, a masterclass from Manchester City. Fuck off. That was not a masterclass. That was not anywhere close to being a masterclass from Manchester City. It was an Arsenal world-class performance, right? So what we failed at, again, the negative part is not taking our chances. We failed to get into the penalty area and do the right thing. We were there. We were there all the time. Odegaard, for me, yes, I'm gonna cry for the penalty. I'm gonna appeal for the penalty. But what if Odegaard gets a good touch, a good very, very fast touch on that ball, and then he chips that ball into the back of the net, and then we score through Saka? The game would have been, would have changed. Goals change games. You saw the moment City got their equalizer, the moment they scored a penalty, the game absolutely turned on its head. It turned around, right? They possessed. They literally became the better side in the last 20 minutes of the game. 26, because 6 more minutes added onto, and that's when they scored. But what I'm gonna say, lads, is what if we took our chances? We need to do that more and more and more, right? I do not blame my side, but against big teams, because again, the commentators are absolutely right. They've said City do what City do what champions do. Because in the DNA of Manchester City for the last half a decade, in their DNA, it is win the game no matter, right? That is in their DNA now. Win the game no matter what, no matter how, win the game. And it should be in Arsenal's DNA as well. That should be part of our DNA. Win the game no matter. That should be part of our DNA, right? And to get that in your DNA, because look, we're not going to be a top 6 side forever. We are slowly getting back to that level where we are top, where we are top 4. We are getting back there. So how do you sustain your living? How do you sustain a living as a top 4 side? That is what you do. You win games playing poorly, but you don't give away points when you've played very, very well. You really, the reason that's why I can't write an Arsenal masterclass is because we didn't win the game. But wasn't it an Arsenal masterclass? It was through and through 2.0. That is an Arsenal masterclass. But I can't write it because we didn't win the game. So the most important statistic of that game, we didn't get it. I think we need to work on that, and the only way we work on that is we need to get in a striker. We need to get in a good striker. We need someone because Lacazette, very, very good player, had a very, very good game before being sent off, before being taken off by the manager, by the assistant manager, who is the manager today. But I think Lacazette, one thing he's gonna love about that game is he led the Arsenal front army with absolute belief. It's the first time I saw the Arsenal forwards really believe. We really believed that we could beat them, and we beat them today. Yes, the scoreline is different, and like I said, I don't give a fuck. That should go to Stuart Outwell. Let him get the scoreline, take it to his wife, and let them make a baby with that. Because if you make a baby with that scoreline, definitely you're gonna give birth to a thief or to a robber or something like that. And look, that is what he deserves. Because for me, there is no way, there is no other explanation that I'm giving with that. There is no way. All right. So listen, Arsenal, we didn't take that. We didn't take our chances, and we were punished for it. Point two lights before we get into the Manchester City game as well, and why they offered nothing, because they offered nothing in that game. Xhaka challenge, that is very poor. Xhaka again leading the game, leading the team down, letting us down. That was a poor challenge, Granny Xhaka. Poor challenge. When I saw it, I say it's gonna be a penalty when it's reviewed. Yeah, I said when it goes into review. When it goes into review, it's gonna be a penalty, and indeed it was. You know what? Yes, it is a soft penalty, but Granit Xhaka, if you look at how all other players have been closing down Manchester City players, I think Xhaka, there was a moment of inequality, and that is because look, in that game there is no moment of quality from Manchester City. No way. There is no moment of quality from Manchester City, but they're lucky that there is a moment of inequality from Granit Xhaka. He gives away that chance. Even Bernardo Silva is going down. Why are you still pulling his shot? Because that is why. Because Silva tries to get across, Xhaka, and Xhaka does well, blocks him. It's a fair challenge, but then Bernardo goes down trying to fake a penalty, but Xhaka makes it, it makes it a little bit, understandable by pulling his shot as he goes down, right? Why is he pulling his shot as he goes down? That is what the penalty is all about. That is what the penalty is all about. And when stupid Stuart Outwell goes to the VAR, board, there is no way he's gonna do. He's already corrupt. He's already corrupt-minded. He gives it away. It's bad. It's a bad challenge. Yeah, it's a bad challenge. And if anyone says that Xhaka gave away that game, Xhaka really sold that game away. Not really sold, but Xhaka lost the game for us. They might be right, because again, he had a very, very good game. He had a very, very good game. Yes, we saw Thomas Partey, but Xhaka was also really, really on his game. But that was a very, very poor challenge. That was a very poor challenge. Because look, let him cross it, maybe. Let him cross it. Look, I think he's right. He's in that position, and he's right. He doesn't need to let Bernardo Silva cross that ball easily. But when Bernardo Silva goes down, let go of his jersey. That's what I'm talking about. You're pulling him. You're still pulling him. They're going to call it a penalty. And it was a bookable offense. It's a penalty. And then Gabriel Magalhaes, red card. When I saw that, I know, game is over. Yeah, when I see that red card, I know game is over. Look, The referee is too harsh, very, very harsh, very, very harsh. And I think we lost the game we lost the game in how many minutes? In around 6 minutes, in around 5 minutes, because we consider penalty, we miss a glorious chance on the other end, and then Gabriel Magalhaes, why does he do that? He's on he's on a yellow card. He knows it. Yeah, he knows he's on a yellow card. And Atwell is just looking for that opportunity to give us a red card, to give City something in that game. He gives it to them. I mean, I can't blame Gabriel. He was frustrated, right? And also, I think this game, however much I think about it, we lost it because of that foolish man, Atwell. Because, it causes our players to get frustrated. He's causing levels of frustration in our team that are really uncalled for, right? He's giving away stupid pens. He's giving away stupid yellow cards. I'm still asking myself, why does he give Saka, a yellow card on a challenge that has been, created by a Manchester City player, a bad challenge that is bookable? He gives Saka a yellow card. That is stupid. That is absolutely very, very stupid. But anyway, lads, look, we really, really played well. There is no getting away from that. We shouldn't be really ashamed. That's some performance. We need to see that. Without a manager on the touchline, I think we were even better. Yeah, we were even better. These players were playing a New Year's Day match for their manager, who they knew was in ICU somewhere watching the game. Really kidding. But he was in a cell, he was in a prison somewhere. And I think the players really played this game, really saying, our manager, this is for you. And I know Mikel Arteta is absolutely grateful. We're going to be reacting to his press conference. I know he is grateful for this performance, really grateful. And I cannot be, ungrateful. I can't ask for more. I really can't ask for more. But just for a minute, lads, let's talk about Manchester City for a minute. City came into this game, they thought, because I thought, I had the commentators ask, is there some burnout from Manchester City? There was no Manchester City burnout. They were surprised with the quality Arsenal put on the pitch. Because look, what we are used to City is that they're a side that control the game. They're a side that always have, the ball, at their feet all the time. That is the Manchester City we know. But it was so different this time. It was very, very different this time. We played an amateur Manchester City. And why did they play like that? I do not know. But my answer is Arsenal outclassed them. That's it. We outclassed them. But one or two things I'm going to say there is where was Kevin De Bruyne? Where was Kevin De Bruyne? Where was he? Absolutely anonymous, absolutely outplayed by Thomas Partey. Joao Cancelo, Gabriel Martinelli. Oh my God, that is a masterclass. That one there was a violation, but apart from it being a violation, it was a masterclass. I've seen not many players really create, cause a disaster class from Joao Cancelo. I've not seen so many of them, but this time, Gabriel Martinelli, that lad is a real test to many defenses. He is a real test to many defenses. Saka on the other side, getting the better of Nathan Ake. I expected that because Nathan Ake for me is not a match at the moment. It's not a match for Bukayo Saka. But then I thought Martinelli was going to have a bad game because Cancelo has been in form. And in the opening 10 minutes, actually most of our fullbacks, including Saka and Martinelli, were actually locked in by the pressure created by Manchester City, the likes of Cancelo coming forward, the likes of Ake coming forward. But that only lasted for 13 minutes. From that moment going on forward, it was a different game, and Manchester City could not cope up. They never had any creativity in that game. No creativity. Let's look at some of the statistics in this game, right? Especially from SofaScore, right? From SofaScore, because City, I mean, they should be wondering how they have put in such a very, very poor performance. They should be wondering. They are putting one of the worst performances in the league this season, right? I remember when we played Norwich City and hit them 5, they put up a fight, yeah? And the referee didn't have anything to do with the game, but they put up a fight. Yeah, they put up a fight. Today, City offered nothing. Creativity going forward. It's the first time I've seen City desperate. Like, you know what I mean? They were desperate. They desperately hang on to. Yes, it's a quality of champions. It's a quality of a side that wants to win the league. That is their quality. 35 minutes gone. Watford 0, Tottenham Hotspur 0. I wish they don't win this game, Tottenham. If they can't win this game, then we've bailed ourselves out. I just wish they can't win it, honestly, because they are the only club I'm really afraid of at the moment. But listen, lads, listen. Let's talk about Manchester City for a minute, right? Let's talk about Manchester City for a minute. Where are their statistics? First half, right? In the first half, Manchester City shots on goal 4. That is in the first half. They had 4 shots on goal, on target 0. Right? They had 0 shots on target. Can you imagine? They had 4 corner kicks, in that half, and they made 304 passes, passing accuracy 89%. That's all, right? That's all. And they cleared the ball more times than Arsenal did in the first half. And that's what I'm saying, that they offered nothing. To the level of Manchester City, they didn't have a shot on target in the first half. But how many shots on target? How many big chances did they create? They created in the first half, they created one big chance. One big chance like that, and it wasn't on target. In the second half, how many chances have they created in the second half? Here we are, right? Here we are. So in the second half, yes, they have more ball possession at 75. They had 11 shots in total. You know how many shots on target they had? They had 2 shots on target. 2 shots on target. Only 2 shots on target. That's it's a very, very poor performance from Manchester City through and through. Very, very poor. They had 1 corner kick there in that in that second half. So how many chances they have? They had 2 big chances and they took them. And like I said, that is the quality there. That one there is the quality of that is the quality of a big side. That is the quality of a team like Manchester City. They get 2 chances, they take them. For me, if Arsenal had taken our chances, we would be very, very far in this game. The match reaction would be very, very, very different. And I wish Xhaka didn't commit that mistake, and I wish Gabriel didn't get that red card. That second booking really cost him a lot. Really, really a lot. But apart from that, lads, the guys played a very, very, very good game. Right. We will go through the player performances, but look, Gabriel Magalhaes, the red card, Odegaard the penalty, Xhaka the reckless mistake. Let me know in the comments below what you thought about that, and then I'll be very, very glad to react to your comments as well. Okay, Jody says big up Arsenal, and Hama says FA don't want Arsenal to finish in top 4. Marco Chris says big ups from young boys. Performance is a milestone of improvement to the team. Next game we will be back. Stephen says Arsenal was fantastic today. Jody says Akiki says the English referee hates Arsenal. I do not know why. David says all I can say, we did what we could, and our game has improved immensely. If we continue like this, we can get top 4. I'm so proud of my team. Definitely, I'm very proud. I'm very, very, very proud. Isaac says Arsenal were fantastic today. And then Tinasi, Tinze, I think it's Tinze, says City didn't have anyone shooting. They had nothing in this game. Yeah, City had nothing in this game. Absolutely nothing. Right. Rukani says Gabriel shouldn't have got hold of Gabriel Jesus because there were three Arsenal defenders. But I think it's frustration. It's frustration that because we know how clever and how calm Gabriel Magalhaes is as a defender. We know how good and how quality he is as a player. The reason that's why he does that, it is frustration, right? It's frustration. And, I know when I look at him, I know he knows he's done something wrong. Because the moment he gets hold of Gabriel Jesus, he lets go very quickly, but it is known enough to show the referee that there is any kind of remorse, and it's a red card. So I think it's a poor challenge, really. Yeah, it's a poor challenge. David says, okay, let's see what you people are saying there. Yusuf is absolutely angry. Daniel says, I am really feeling very pitiful of my team. Great job next time, my boys. That's according to Maximin. Big up. Rokani says, Bajaka's mistake is just, amateurish. Look, and look, that is my problem with Xhaka. That is my problem with Xhaka. When is he going to stop doing that? When is he going to stop doing that? Because he needs to stop it right away. When is he going to stop doing that? When is he going to start doing things, like he must be doing them? When is he going to stop doing that? Right? When is he going to stop doing that? This is a bunch of young kids that are put in everything they can. Don't let them down. Don't let them down. That's a poor challenge. That's a poor challenge, right? That's a poor challenge again from Xhaka. Yusuf says he's absolutely angry. Akik says, how many matches will Gabriel Magalhaes miss? 3, 2, or 1? 1. It's a second booking. It's 1. It's a second booking, so it's 1. Maximus says, Cossy, Arsenal is enemy to VAR always. If you saw most of the game, look, I do not know why those fools keep on fooling with us. I don't know why VAR keeps on messing around with our games, because this is a disaster. It's a disaster. Kind of says Arsenal played well. Isaac says Akiki says we played well, and Isaac says, which matches is Gabriel going to miss? I think Gabriel will miss the FA Cup game against, is it Wimbledon? Sorry, I mean, how can I not know my next games? We have an FA Cup game coming on. It's Nottingham Forest on 9th January, and then he will also miss a game against Liverpool on the 6th of January. That is in. Will he miss that game? No, I think the red card doesn't work there, does it? It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. But I think he won't miss any Premier League games, because in between there we have an FA Cup game, which where the red card will be working. The red card will actually apply on Nottingham Forest. And I know, look, I want to raise his spirits. I'm going to tweet something right about now. So just give me a moment. I'm going to tweet something. Make sure you're following me on Cossy. That is my Twitter handle. And look, guys, we should tweet big up Gabriel, because I think he must be in there thinking I've cost my team, right? But I think it just needs to be a little bit a little bit. Let me tweet something here. Big up Gab 6. That is his shirt number, Gab 6. All right, so there we go. Okay, no, right, because look, I know it's gonna be very hard for him as a player, because he's gonna look back and it's like, if I'm on that pitch, City don't score that stupid goal. If I'm on that pitch, we could have scored. If on but James Ole is asking these referees how much are they paying you, right? It's absolute anger everywhere, lads. It's absolute anger everywhere. It's absolute anger. All over Twitter, all over the internet. It's absolute anger. Absolute anger. This is what Rio Ferdinand has actually put out, and I'm going to retweet it, so make sure you follow me on Cossy. He said, Rio Ferdinand on Arsenal's penalty claim, he said, with VAR, I don't understand how it is not given. That is Rio Ferdinand on BT Sport. That is what I'm saying, lads. With VAR, how is it not given? Okay, it's not given because Stuart Atwell is corrupt, but with VAR, really, who was the fucking VAR in this game? Because I need to know. I need to find more. Who was the fucking VAR in this game? Because it was a shambles. It was a shambles. Absolute shambles. Right? Absolute shambles. Right. So then, lads, that's it. So I've just tweeted there that big up Gabriel. So I hope he gets into high, spirits. Bob says man of the match for Arsenal is Thomas Partey. Partey was man of the match. That's according to Fazola Anu, my man. Bob says, Cossy, the man of the match goes to the ref. He brought a complete turning point. I mean, absolutely. He was another player. Yeah, he was another player. And Ndiamuhachi. Julia says that's soccer. This is what I said in the first, in the opening periods of this match reaction, that is soccer. We call it jeopardy. I learned that word from a man called Laurie Jennings, and he just says jeopardy is why we watch football. The reasons why football hurts so much and why it is so fascinating as a sport. It is not like Formula One. Listen, in Formula One, Lewis Hamilton on deadline day lost his Grand Prix to finale to who the fuck is that guy? I don't even remember the name. To Verstappen, right? It's intriguing. There's a lot of interest in there, but with football, it's so different. It's so different. The level of jeopardy is when Brentford, truthfully, beat Arsenal on the opening day, right from the championship. That is the jeopardy I want. If we beat City today, you would say that is soccer. That is soccer, right? But soccer with VAR, soccer with referees with plastic eyes and plastic hearts is no longer soccer. Soccer. We need soccer to be soccer. I mean, maybe that's the reason as well you're going to be having a World Cup every 2 weeks, every 2 days. Because I wonder if FIFA, UEFA, FA, Premier League, they fought so hard when these lumpens actually came in with this idea of the Super League. But I'm still asking myself, why are you fighting so hard? The game you're controlling is out of hand. The game you're controlling is absolute shit. It is smelling. It is disgusting. Why are you fighting? Right? They made the Super League look ugly, like shit, but instead they look ugly like shit. Absolutely. They do not deserve those referees. Don't deserve those badges. Those referees do not deserve to stand in the middle of the park. In such big games. They don't deserve, really. They don't deserve. However much we contemplate about it, however much we think about it, they don't deserve. They don't deserve to. They don't deserve to be there. They don't deserve. It's annoying. Simpson says, if it wasn't for the foolish referee, then Man City was down, but Xhaka challenge was childish, really amateur. I agree with you, Simpson. My biggest fan, because he's number one fan, Fig Prince, says all has happened, but good enough. We know how a big threat we are. Definitely. I think in the 6 things we learned, we'll be talking about that, lads, because we know now that we are a threat. We know that we are a big side. And any team that comes across Arsenal, you're playing not just a team in form, but one of the best teams now in the league. In terms of quality, terms of concentration, terms of attitude, in terms of discipline, in terms of everything. You're playing one of the best sides in the league. Simpson says, I think Cossy, Arsenal, and Mikel Arteta are showing us something. Arsenal today was superb. Let's trust the process. Mambi says, Kuhanda Bambi says, I am angry, but still the team has proven to be resurrecting. Let Kroenke give more money for transfers. All right. What a team Arteta has built. That's according to Cossy's, Cossy's number one, fan, Fig Prince. He is surely the most looking Spaniard we have seen at Emirates, as it was posted in the stadium, right? And Martin says, I was upset with the VAR. It was invented to minimize errors, but I see no change. Now I believe Arsenal is highly contending for the top 4 this season. Julia says that's soccer. Anu says just one game missed for Gabriel. Yeah, one game, and it should be either the FA Cup or the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup, which I really care less about. Because his number one fan says that's Frick Prince says, at least we have seen what we can do. City have had no chance for against us. Sure, Arsenal way better than Manchester City today. That is according to Anu. And then Osita says, good team. I'm proud of Martinelli and soccer as well. Right, lads. So look, you know what, lads. I'm really happy with this match reaction. I've got some time to put everything off my chest. Now I can, join me on Cossy. Thanks for the work. Thank you so much, Isaac. Join me on 99 Sports. I'm going to be doing that upload. It's called. I'm working with I'm working on something new on that channel where we do absolute analysis, analyzing every game. So join me on 99 Sport as well. We're going to dive into how Arsenal destroyed Manchester City, because that was really a good performance. Muhammad Dakona says, hi Cossy, I'm so happy despite the loss, yet that doesn't change our level in the EPL at all. Top team. Listen lads, this is what I've said. That is a performance that has been ruined by a shambles of a lumpen, and it doesn't mean anything for my team. I'm just praying, with such performances, managers, players can get frustrated. They can get devastated, and that is what I'm afraid of. If it's not that, it's okay. It's okay. But kick these referees. They need to be held accountable. They can't just keep walking away with it. They just can't. I mean, it just can't keep on happening. Right? It just can't keep on happening all the time. It can't. We should find, a better way to teach these referees a lesson. It can't be all the time that whenever these referees come in there, they put in a disaster of a performance, they walk away with it. They need to be held accountable. It's shit. It's absolute shit. Guys, that is my match reaction. Thanks everybody who has joined in. I'm absolutely grateful. I'm going to speak to you in the player ratings, and of course more on 99 Sport. Make sure you do check out for that channel. It's called 99 Sport, and I'll see you very soon.